ಡಿ ಚಂದನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
Yes. Very good morning to everyone that is tuning in, and welcome to the ALTIORE Sports live from Bangalore for the big final of the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy. And what a game we have on the cards for you. It is Andhra Pradesh. They are the defending champions. They are back in the final once again, and they will be taking on Odisha. This is the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy. Cricket for the blind. There you go. Andhra Pradesh versus Odisha. It's a good, hot, bright, sunny day from Bangalore once again. And we are just about gearing up for the toss. We're minutes away from start of play as well. And we will have my co-commentator Shankar Prakash with the two captains in the center in just a minute, and we will hand it over to you very quickly. But if you are just tuning in, quick update from what happened yesterday. Karnataka went down to Odisha in the second semi-final, and Andhra Pradesh, the defending champions, beat Haryana in that first semi-final. And that's how the two teams have made it to the final. And very quickly going to hand it over to Shankar Prakash, who's in the center with the two captains for the all-important toss.
Hello, namaskar and welcome. We are into the finals of the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy, the supremacy for domestic cricket in our country. And yesterday we had two scintillating matches. The first match, it looked as though Haryana will give a run for its money to Andhra Pradesh, but Andhra Pradesh got the better of it rather easily in the end. But in the second match, it was tantalizingly close. Ultimately, Karnataka lost to Odisha. And the two finalists are here. It's going to be the final, and Andhra Pradesh versus Odisha. We have with us for the toss Mr. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao, the skipper of Andhra Pradesh, and Chandrasekhar Patnaik, the coach of Odisha. We also have Mohammad Jafar Iqbal, the captain of Odisha, Sri Mahantesh, who is the pillar of the development of blind cricket in the world, DT Kumar, the match referee, Mr. David, the secretary, Mr. Chandrasekhar, and of course the two umpires who have been toiling hard since yesterday, Sai Ram and Prasanna Raj. Well, viewers, we are all ready for the all-important toss. I would request the referee to kindly come forward. And who's going to call? Mohammad Jafar is going to call.
10 rupee coin. Ashoka is the heads and 10 is the tails. So Jafar will call. Orissa captain. Yes. I'm tossing. Please call. It's head. It's tail. Venkateshwara Rao wins the toss.
Yes, Venkateshwara Rao, you won the toss. What are you going to do?
We want to bat first, sir.
Oh, change in strategy.
Yes, sir. We want a good score setup on this field.
Okay. It was planned to bat first if you win the toss, or?
Is batting or second or is not important. It's a good experienced team as Andhra Pradesh, but we want a good setup and chase this time. Want to Odisha.
All the best for the match.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, Jafar. हर बार आप टॉस जीते थे, इसीलिए आज कॉल किया आपने, लेकिन आज तो चेस करना पड़ रहा है. स्ट्रेटेजी थोड़ा डिफरेंट हो गया आपका.
नो, सो यस्टरडे हम लोग स्ट्रेटेजी भी चेंज किया था. टॉस हारा है, मैच जीतेगा.
ठीक है, टॉस हारे तो आप क्या फील्डिंग लेते थे?
यस, अगर टॉस हारता तो मैं भी फील्डिंग लेता, और ये इजी हो गया कि वेंकी फील्डिंग करने का मौका दे दिया हमें. और आई होप कि बहुत अच्छा मैच होगा.
क्या स्ट्रेटेजी रहेगा आज आपका?
स्ट्रेटेजी तो मैच में देखने मिलेगा आप लोगों को, और व्यूअर्स जो है मैच में देख सकते हैं क्या स्ट्रेटेजी होगा. लेकिन फिर भी बहुत अच्छा मैच रहेगा, क्योंकि आंध्रा टीम और उड़ीसा टीम दोनों टीम काफ़ी कम्पिटिटिव हैं, और दोनों टीमों में काफ़ी इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स भी हैं. और जैसे कि आंध्रा टीम में इंडिया का कप्तान भी है, सो इट विल बी अ ग्रेट मैच एंड इट विल बी अ ग्रेट फाइट. एंड आफ्टर ऑल वी बोथ आर फ्रेंड्स, so in the battle of final we will play well, fight well.
Okay, all the best for the match. Well, the news from the middle is that...
So there you go. The news from the centre is that Andhra Pradesh have won the toss. Venkateshwara Rao, the captain of Andhra Pradesh, and he was very quick in deciding to bat first. They seem to have their strategies loud and clear, and they want to put up a massive total on the board. And here's a quick look at the Andhra Pradesh lineup. Prem Kumar, Govind Raju, Satya Narayana, and he contributed usefully yesterday. The captain Venkateshwara Rao. And there's another Venkateshwara Rao as well, Ajay Kumar Reddy, Venkatesh Durga Rao, who's a fabulous all-rounder. We saw him contribute with bat and ball yesterday. DT Krishna, who's going to be opening the batting alongside the captain. Ravi is the wicket-keeper, and there's also Gopalachari. Ravi also yesterday, incidentally, happened to be outstanding in the outfield. He's a brilliant fielder as well. And the two teams have made their way to the centre. And a quick look at the Odisha team here. Mohammad Jafar Iqbal was economical with the ball. He's the captain. Tapan Kumar, Kalya Pradhan, Debraj Bera, Nakulla Badnayak, Lal Prasad Soren, Singrai Maji. And the next two names that you see, Pankaj Bue, Sukram Maji, the two names that were responsible for ousting Karnataka from this tournament. Lingaraj Rautra and Dhanapati Gowda. That sums up the Odisha team. All in all, two evenly matched teams, some high quality players, players that represent the country as well. We're going to see in action, and we're pretty much gearing up. This is season 3 of the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy 2021. The defending champions Andhra Pradesh are back in the final. And this time around, they have Odisha for company. Last year, it was Karnataka as the finalist. And, well, Andhra Pradesh, just to give you a sense, also have the Indian captain in their ranks as well, Ajay Kumar Reddy. You're going to get to see him very shortly. And we're bringing you pictures from the ALTIORE Green Sports Cricket Ground. This is the final, Andhra Pradesh versus Odisha, and after a sunny stint in the centre, I'm going to call upon my co-commentator, Shankar Prakash. Always good to be in the combox with him. And before I do that, a quick call out to our umpires. They did a fabulous job yesterday. And Prasanna Raj and Sai Ram are the two umpires for this big final. Shankar, good morning once again, and a bright Tuesday morning. Good day for a big game.
Absolutely, it's bright sunshine above the ALTIORE ground here, and we had a wonderful game of cricket, not in one match but both the matches. In the second match though, it looked Karnataka's way till the 10th over, because we thought they're going to hit the B1 players and of course the B3 players and B2, the Odisha people hit all of them, but Karnataka were not able to hit. Only one player was successful, and after that the match has begun. Over to you, Navneet.
Yeah, that's ball number 1 that has been bowled from Odisha, and it is a B3 player, DT Krishna, who's going to open the batting for Andhra Pradesh. And he has a B2 player, that is the captain, Venkateshwara Rao, who is now on strike, courtesy that single of the first delivery. And it is one of their main bowlers, Pankaj Bue, who will start off proceedings for Odisha from the far end. He was remarkable. He really was remarkable with the bat yesterday in that massive partnership alongside Sukram Maji. And the first wide of the day. Out comes the reverse sweep, and let's just add the first boundary onto the scoreboard. Oh my word, this man, have a look at that. He doesn't need to get his eye in. He is a confident young lad, is Venkateshwara Rao, the captain. It didn't take too long for him to bring out the reverse sweep, and he hit that with absolute confidence. It raced away to the point region for a convincing boundary, and they're on their way at Andhra Pradesh. almost looked like it was going for a wide. There are 3 fielders in pursuit, and well, the fine leg fielder will cut it off. The wicketkeeper gives him good support, but the batsmen have made it back for the second. Good confident start this from Andhra Pradesh. They are very clear with their intent. The captain sounded confident at the toss as well. He was clear that he wants to bat first, and well, with the kind of batting that they have. Shot! Oh my word, remarkable on the bounce. He absolutely drilled that through the cover region. A convincing start this from Andhra Pradesh, and 12 on the board already. The statement is loud and clear. This is the final, and they want to get a massive score on the board. This time down the leg side will be cut off by the mid-on fielder, and it's a good start by Andhra Pradesh. A single to end the over, 13 for no loss at the end of 1. Shankar, we saw 800 runs pretty much scored yesterday in the 80 overs. Is that a sign of things to come today as well?
Looks like, and yesterday, if you remember, Duna Venkateshwara Rao missed out. He got a very good first over, and thereafter we saw the Tandavan Nrutya of D.T. Krishna. And we had 2 Krishnas, one on the field and one in the commentary box, and the same repetition of yesterday. Krishna is there in the middle, and Navneet Krishna is there in the com box. Well, it's a great beginning for Andhra Pradesh, and so this indeed surprised Odisha. Everybody thought Andhra will chase, because yesterday what the Andhra skipper was telling, they prefer to chase, but today they've changed strategy, and surprisingly the Odisha captain has won all the 5 tosses earlier, but today he lost the toss. And so somewhere down the line, Andhra on an advantageous wicket in the beginning itself, but you never know. 1 or 2 wickets in T20 can change the complexion of the game. As from the other end, we have Odisha's bowler, Nakul Badnaik. B2 bowler, Nakula Badnaik. Good hand yesterday from him. So, as Badnaik now bowls to Venkateshwara Rao, whose reverse sweeps it, and I think it will be a boundary. So welcome Badnaik. That's what Venkateshwara Rao has said, welcoming him with a boundary. And Odisha seeing ominous signs from Venkateshwara Rao, and we also have the Indian captain in the ranks who scored very well yesterday. So all in all, Andhra Pradesh probably must have thought, let's not take the pressure of chasing. We'll put up a big total and then apply pressure on Odisha. Just 1.1 overs and 17 for no loss. It's okay. It's okay. 18 for no loss. A single has been taken and is hit there, lying on the floor, on the ground. And Duna Venkateshwara Rao, the throw probably must have hit his... Duna Venkateshwara Rao, there it is, strikes it hard, goes for a very, very quick run. And that's where he was stuck on the field. This is yours, this is mine. 18 for no loss, and the cricket slightly held up. Well, we were talking about Duna Venkateshwara Rao's histrionics, but unfortunately he struck on the legs, and this is not, doesn't make good reading. Well, Navneet, you would agree with me, the player should not go out of the field at this juncture. It will be a big blow for Andhra. Yeah, not in a big final. You don't want to see players step off the field by virtue of an injury, especially in a big game like this. So really hoping that he can recover from this, and this is what happened. He struck it well,
down to the long on region, and the throwback from the fielder was what struck the batsman, and he absolutely wasn't happy. You can see the expression on his face, Venkateshwara Rao, and he went down immediately. That struck him hard on the left foot, if I'm not wrong. He's a strong young lad. We expect him to come back, and that's what it looks like.
Sangray Maji's throw it was, but looks like he seems to be okay. And just like what we see in professional cricket, some magic spray must have been sprayed on that, and so he must like a magic is come back. Now he's probably a few steps here and there, taking a walk and back to form. The best part is he'll not be taking strike. It's going to be D.T. Krishna waiting for his opportunity to smack the ball. But Naik this time to D.T. Krishna. There he hits the ball well. A little bit of misfield. No backup. No backup for a B1 player, and that ensured that the ball will cross over the boundary. Yesterday we saw Mohammad Jafar setting his field very well, and the Karnataka batsmen were not able to get boundaries at will. Good amount of backup, but not this time. As a long chase for Sangray Maji in vain. But this time Maji runs across very quickly, anticipates where exactly the ball would come, stops and restricts the scoring to only 1 run. 23 for no loss after 1.4 overs. And that's going to be Duna Venkateshwara Rao. A little bit of recuperatory breathing there from him, the skipper. Missed out yesterday, but today definitely would like to put up a good score, a decent score individually, which would ensure a good score for the team. Nicely done. No need to run for that. Don't chase it. 4. Sukram Maji, the fielder, knew fully well once the ball was, the distance between him and the ball was pretty large. Gives up the chase. There you can watch it again. Straight to the boundary. So Duna Venkateshwara Rao dealing in boundary straight away. We are still in the second over. One more ball to go already. 27 for no loss. It's a very good start for Andhra Pradesh.
Itself much bigger than the regular cricket ball, has ball bearings in it that makes a noise that the players shot down the leg side. Easy pickings for D.T. Krishna here, and with the fielders up in the 30-yard circle, well, you're asking for trouble really. 3 overs completed, 34 for no loss, and the ball that you see much bigger, like I mentioned, with the ball bearings inside of it. It acts as an audio cue for players and batsmen, bowlers and fielders alike. And Shankar, you've been associated in blind cricket commentary for a while now, for several years. It's wonderful to see the advancement, the developments that have happened in India especially.
You're right, Navneet, because but it all started with G.K. Mahantesh and Nagesh. And if you remember, this is the Indusind Bank Nagesh trophy. Unfortunately, Mahantesh lost Nagesh. In fact, the blind cricketing world lost him. He was a go-getter, but Mahantesh is continuing the good work which both of them started. First ball, looking towards the umpire. Yes, he gets the judgment what was required. Wide. And talking about the development, the blind cricket, in fact, the Cricket Association for the Blind in India, CABI, is doing a great job, and all over the world ensuring that blind cricket is getting its due. The previous World Cup, India defeated Pakistan in the final, and probably that also further inspired the organizers to make it. And now you can see Karnataka, it was a foregone conclusion prior to the start of the tournament that Karnataka will be in the final. But yesterday Odisha defeating them and showing that this is developing all over the country, which is indeed a good sign, and the selectors will have a problem. So when selectors are having a problem, which means it's a good problem to face. Good for the cricket. And there it is. The ball is trickling down towards the third man boundary. wanted the second run. And Dunna Venkateshwara Rao response was late, but he knew fully well he was not running towards the danger end. Response to Krishna. So 2 byes. 38 for no loss. It's been a good start now, unlike yesterday where they lost Venkateshwara Rao after the first over. But today, both these batsmen have ensured. A little bit of complacency had crept into the body language of Andhra Pradesh yesterday, and Karnataka also. Karnataka lost it, but Andhra Pradesh, in the nick of time, at the 16th over, they suddenly woke up, and then 5 runouts ensured that they were back on top. Struck hard, but placement was not there. Hence, will have to remain content with only a single. 40 for none. The final of the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy for supremacy in domestic cricket. None for 40. Sweeps it hard. But again, smart piece of fielding in the deep there by Singrai Maji. He's guarding that area very well, not allowing the ball to drift away from him. As it's going to be no ball from Sukram Maji, and also having a problem with the ball, and the umpires, both Prasanna Raj and Sairam, will have a look at it. In fact, this umpire Prasanna Raj, Odisha player, requested for a change in ball. Nakul Patnaik there, close to the screen. There you can watch the stroke of Dunna Venkateshwara Rao, the previous hit. And after that, ball is changed. In the meantime, it has given us an opportunity to show you the important moments of the morning. Started off well, Dunna Venkateshwara Rao, got hit, but then thereafter recovered very quickly, back in action. So D.T. Krishna and D. Venkateshwara Rao doing duty as openers for this final encounter. Andhra Pradesh versus Odisha. It's going to be D.T. Krishna now taking strike. Strikes the ball well, but smart piece of anticipation by the bowler. Runs across and very quickly stops the ball. Sukram Maji yesterday played very well. One of the reasons why Karnataka were defeated in the semi-finals. Sukram Maji now bowling. This time will find the gap. The ball will cross over the boundary. 4 runs. You can't keep the Andhra Pradesh batsman quiet for a long time. And another boundary to Andhra Pradesh, another boundary to D.T. Krishna. And the end of over number 4. Andhra Pradesh, by virtue of this boundary, move on to 45 for no loss.
It's a little cooler as compared to how it was yesterday. There's a nice gentle breeze that's flowing across as well. So perfect conditions for a good game of cricket. And it is the big final. So very rightly so, a good crowd that's turned up for this big game. We also see the Karnataka team that are seated there on my far left. They would have dearly loved to be in the center of the ground today, but they were beaten by a better Odisha team. And so Karnataka team in the sidelines, plenty of well-wishers and supporters of blind cricket. Some confusion in the center. Could have so easily been a run out, but well, in the end has ended up 2 runs, courtesy of fumble by the fielder at mid-on. So this is a good solid start from Andhra Pradesh. 47 for no loss in 4 overs, mind you. This is just the start, and with shot. Now, the easy pickings for someone as talented as Venkateshwara Rao. He will be hitting them all day long if you keep giving it there. It was just about the perfect amount of bounce. Have a look at that. right on the bounce, so he got the elevation that he needed to clear the mid-on fielder, and it just rocketed along to the boundary. And that is the half century up for AP in just the 5th over. They mean business. Add 4 more. Add 4 more. Venkateshwara Rao. He is in a hurry today. The big man from Andhra Pradesh, the captain, wants to make it count on the big day. Plenty of noise from the sidelines. The Andhra Pradesh dugout, they are already jumping, cheering their captain on as he scans the field. Which area is he targeting now? Down the ground. A fabulous piece of fielding there. To see the B1 fielders put their body on the line every single time, save some runs for the team, is just so brilliant to see. Quick, cheeky single. Clarity in the decision making there from DT Krishna. He knew he had the run there, and well, the captain responds very quickly. We saw close to 800 runs scored yesterday. Like I mentioned, more than 10 runs to the over were scored in the 80 overs that we saw. It was a high scoring day, and well, from the looks of it, we're headed in the same direction today as well. Credit to the DD production team here. They're doing a fabulous job in bringing you these pictures from the ALTIORE cricket ground. 58 for no loss at the end of 5. And this is the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy Season 3. .58 for no loss at the end of 5.
.58 for no loss, and there's the camera crew of Doordarshan doing duty here, and these pictures are coming to you live through DD Chandana and DD Sports. Struck hard. We have not seen a 6 yesterday. This was a half 6, one can say. Hitting it upishly in no man's land, but fortunately it falls before the boundary line for Odisha. So a boundary. Another boundary to Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Andhra Pradesh on course for a mammoth total here. Vacant area, no fielder in the picture. None for 62. Sukram Maji continuing the bowling operations, but cannot prevent the batsman from crossing over. Thanks a lot, boss. Once again. None for 63. Struck hard. Great beat of dive there by Mohammad Jafar Iqbal, the captain, leading from the front. And remember, Mohammad Jafar Iqbal is a B1 player. Definitely has saved a couple of runs for his team. And when your team is down, this sort of action on the field will propel the other team members also. A sweeper position there. They look for the second. No, they won't, as the ball is fielded, and Dunna Venkateshwara Rao quite disappointed that he should have got a boundary for that. DT Krishna. Bowled a wicket to wicket basic. There's a little bit of a bat on it, so no chance of a leg before. Krishna, 18 of 15. DT Krishna will move on to 22 of 16 now. And 41 is Duna Venkateshwara Rao. So at the end of 6 overs, scoring at 11.5 runs per over, Andhra Pradesh 69 for none. Thank you. Thank you.
Right, with 6 overs completed, so what that means is B1 bowlers can now start bowling. For those of you who are just a little unfamiliar with some of the rules for blind cricket, 8 overs out of the 20 overs have to be bowled by B1 bowlers. And they have to be bowled after the 6th over. Ever so often you see teams bowling out all 8 overs on the trot between 6 to 14. We saw that yesterday, and it was that phase when Odisha capitalized on Karnataka's B1 bowlers and they really took the game away from Karnataka. And here Andhra Pradesh in a very strong position, 70 for no loss. They have pretty much the license to go even bigger now in the next 8 overs. 8 overs is a lot of deliveries. And they'll be targeting at least 80 to 100 runs in these 8 overs. So we're talking some big runs being scored today.
Well, Navneet, 6 overs, 70, and definitely 200 on the cards.
100%, and especially that man on your screen, Venkateshwara Rao. If he hangs in there for a while, we're talking well over 200. They have a certain Ajay Reddy in the ranks as well. Excellent. Good piece of fielding there. Oh, there's some confusion. There's some confusion. Well, there might just be a run out. Yes, there you go. Wicket number 1. Just when we were saying this, absolute confusion in the center. DT Krishna and Venkateshwara Rao really made a mess of that. He called for the single. Venkateshwara Rao didn't respond, and so he had already covered 80% of the length of the pitch. And there was no turning back from that. He was way too deep in the water. He handed to the fielder there. Have a look at that excellent piece of fielding from a B1 bowler, B1 fielder to stop the ball, roll it back to the fielder, and a very smart piece of fielding there. He could have taken that throw from far off, but it would have been a lot harder. He did the sensible thing by running closer towards the stumps and then throwing it. And he hit right in the center. That is a big wicket, a big wicket in the context of this game.
The new man in is a B1 batsman, G. Satyanarayana, and DT Krishna comes back. And as we have been repeatedly giving you information about the blind cricket, when a B1 player is playing, a help runner is allowed, and DT Krishna, who ran himself out, will be the runner for Satyanarayana. Krishna should have seen what Duna Venkateshwara Rao was doing, and remember a few minutes earlier was stuck on the feet and therefore was in a will definitely be in pain to take that run, and hence DT Krishna was lucky the first time but not the second time.
Wide ball to start off. Satyanarayana, B1 category player, is completely blind and will have a guide runner with him. So he will need to focus on striking the ball, and he did that very well indeed yesterday in the semi-final. A very useful contribution from Satyanarayana. That is a fantastic shot to start off. Another important fact that you need to know about B1 players is that every run scored by them will double into the scorebooks. So a single will be double, a boundary scored by them will be 8 runs, and a 6 will be 12, which is why the contributions of a B1 player is that much more important. 74 for 1 in 6.2. That wicket would have pegged them back a little bit maybe, but they still have plenty of ammunition left. In the offside this time, and he drills that to the cover region. Just the single that brings Satyanarayana back on strike. Very useful cricketer. He didn't waste too many deliveries yesterday. He kept getting the singles and the doubles, and so when you double that in the scorebooks, you'll suddenly realize that his contributions are more than just valuable. And he struck with a very good strike rate yesterday. This is a very, very erratic delivery. Wasn't even on the pitch. So a B1 bowler bowling to a B1 batsman. Another dot ball. Another one down the leg side, so add 2 more, or rather 1 more to the total. You can expect to see plenty of extras, particularly in this phase of the innings, between overs 8 to 14, or rather 6 to 14, when the B1 bowlers are in action. Keep in mind that they're completely blind, and so that is a good ball. Right between, just within the blue line. You can see the 2 blue lines on either side of the batsman, and that is what the bowlers are working with. They want to make sure that they're within those 2 lines. This time he corrects a little too much onto the offside. Welcome runs. Every run is important, no matter how they come. There have been a few extras in this over. On target this time, and well swept by Narayana, but straight to the fielder on this occasion, and that does complete the over. 7 completed, 78 for 1.
Normally in blind cricket, if the B1 batsman is not able to contribute in terms of scoring, generally there will be a run out, and the cycle of B1, B2, B3 will have to happen. Now the first cycle of B1, B2, B3 is complete. Openers were B2 and B3, and now B1 player is coming. Now if one of them gets out, either a B2 player can come, and then a B3 player can come, and then B1 can wait as the, if you 4 wickets or 5 wickets after that he can come. A couple of wickets have to fall, so they can alter the cycle the way they want. And a B1 bowler, the skipper Mohammad Jafar Iqbal on your screen, will be bowling the next over. Has bowled well. 8 overs will have to be bowled by B1, and that's the rule in this form of the game. 78 for 1. Slightly the Andhra Pradesh team's run rate has come down. Now takes the measurement from where he needs to throw the ball. How accurate he will be depends on the amount of practice the player would have done. Starts off with a wide. This is where you lose track, and as we have been repeatedly telling, the sound of the ball bearings inside the ball will ensure that where exactly the ball is going. Slightly better, but then it cannot escape from the eyes of umpire Prasanna Raj to call it a wide. So 2 wides already to start with Mohammad Jafar. captain of Orissa. The better one and sought it very early. These are easy pickings for Andhra Pradesh. Straight to the fine leg boundary for 4 from Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Venkateshwara Rao moves on to 47 by virtue of that boundary. On the threshold of very well compiled half century, maybe we'll look for a boundary to get it in style. Third wide. Mohammad Jafar Iqbal probably must have thought before the start of the match that they were going to bat first, and it must be definitely haunting him now since they lost the toss and they were asked to bowl. Better delivery, but equally well played by Venkateshwara Rao. Looking for the second run. A little bit of fumble there, but if the ball had hit directly to the stumps, some B2, B3 players should have covered the stumps, because that was a mistake what they did. And both D.T. Krishna, the help runner, and Venkateshwara Rao saw that there is an opportunity to get the second run because there's no player close to the stumps, and they do it quite easily. So one extra run. Hits it out. If he had left, it would have definitely been a wide. But there was an opportunity to get a boundary, and Venkateshwara Rao didn't want to miss it. Has a word with the wicket keeper. 87 for 1. Venkateshwara Rao on 49 now. And that's his 50th run. Will get it in style and will not be able to stop that by virtue of that half century for Dunna Venkateshwara Rao, the captain, playing a captain's innings, not out on 53. D.T. Krishna, it would have been 91 for no loss had Krishna not tried a suicidal run. That's the boundary which ensured that 53 now by virtue of that boundary. 26, so a strike rate of 200. As Venkateshwara Rao takes a look around the field. Still a lot of batting to come from Andhra Pradesh. And this time a reverse sweep. The ball will go to the boundary. Yes, it does. Eyeing the gaps and hitting the ball at will. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao missed out yesterday, but he a smart player he is, ensures that today he will be amongst the runs. Moves on to 57. Andhra Pradesh. Suddenly this over of Mohammad Jafar Iqbal has increased the run rate to a level what was expected from Andhra Pradesh, because in the beginning they were scoring at 12 to 13 runs an over. Thereafter it slowed down, and now almost 12 runs an over. Strikes it hard. No fielder, but there is a fielder in the deep. Sukram Mai, and a possibility of a run out there, just missing it by a whisker, and that would have been a second run out. Krishna would have ensured that the B1 player would have been run out, but fortunately Dunna Venkateshwara Rao saw that and asked him to get back. Satyanarayana is saved. 8 overs gone. 96 for the loss of 1 wicket. So Andhra Pradesh back on track with the run rate after this over from Mohammad Jafar Iqbal.
.96 for 1 in 8. They're going at 12 to the over. The signs are ominous at the moment. Odisha have to pull this back a bit, because otherwise, with the captain of the Indian cricket team for the blind, Ajay Kumar Reddy, yet to come, this Andhra Pradesh team will look at a monstrous total. And with the manner in which Venkateshwara Rao is striking it, This doesn't look too good for Odisha. He pretty much everything he touches is turning to gold at the moment. He's striking them to all parts of the park, and he's even more clear that he wants to capitalize in this phase of the game when the B1 bowlers are on. Look at that. There is a fielder there. He just moved 3 feet to his left, but even that isn't good enough because he's just striking them so well. Oh, that was close, a little too close. Fantastic. Absolutely outstanding. Sukra Maji, he is good with the ball, he is outstanding with the bat, he is better on the field. He is a supremely talented all-rounder, is Sukra Maji. They will need the best of him today. And the 100 comes up for Andhra Pradesh already. We're just into the 9th over. 8.2 is all that we have. Add 4 more. Add 4 more. He's just peppering the field. He's toying with the bowling. He's making this look really, really easy. He's past the half-century mark and we're just into the 9th over. Forget Andhra scoring big. Venkateshwara himself might just have a monumental score today. They're changing the field practically after every single delivery. That is the kind of damage that Venkateshwara Rao is causing at the moment. Pressure on Odisha. Shot. He gets plenty of elevation on that, but there's a fielder to cut it off at long on. Will they go back for the second? No, they won't. They don't want a second run. Now, hold on. Oh, wait. No. There was a chance there for them to get another run out, but the wicketkeeper missed the stumps there. And Satya Narayana will live to tell another tale. Look at that, look at that, look at that, and he misses. The 100 is up. Satya Narayana, he's such... Oh, is that out? I think he's played on to the stumps. Yes, that is the case. Satya Narayana will walk back because of a hit wicket. A very good contribution yesterday, a good contribution today as well. So good to see him. Comes in at a crucial position at number 3 and he doesn't waste any deliveries. A good handy knock by Satya Narayana, and well, that makes way for Durga Rao. Another one of those star all-rounders that we see. Durga Rao is very quick when he's bowling and he's equally menacing with the bat in hand. Durga Rao is a B3 batsman with a B2 and B3 batsman in the centre. Playing B1 bowlers may just be a field passage of play for Andhra Pradesh. He starts off with a single. Starts off with a single. That is also the end of the over. 9 overs completed and they're motoring along. 106 on the board for the loss of 2 wickets. In fact, the scoreboard is yet to reflect that. 106 for 2, there you go. 106 for 2 at the end of 9.
Mohammad Jafar Iqbal to continue. It's an important over for both the batsmen here. Struck hard, but straight to the fielder. Lingaraj Rautra. Just a single. Next one. Venkateshwar Rao has a look around the field, dives to his right, the bowler on his follow through. Smart piece of backup in the deep by Pankaj Buhe. Ensures that only a single is taken, otherwise it was a definite boundary. So smart piece of fielding after observing that the bowler on his follow through was not able to stop that one. There you can watch ball crossing over the bowler on his follow through and quickly comes across. Pankaj stops the ball and saves 3 runs for his team. This time struck well. And again it's Pankaj Buhe in action. 108 for 2. It's been a quiet over so far. No wides also. No boundary. So good comeback by Mohammad Jafar Iqbal. Takes his measurement from the wicket, which would ensure that the ball doesn't go wide. But saw the ball very early. Eyes the gap and a little bit of misfielding there. Did all the hard work Singrai Maji, but then finally conceded the boundary. There you can observe, eyed the spot very well. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Maji was on course to stop that one, but it slipped out of his fingers and a boundary ensured for Andhra Pradesh. 113 for 2. Very, very wide. If there was a rule in blind cricket, that would have been gifted 2 wide, 2 runs. It was a double wide. But then remember, B1 players are playing it exceedingly well. They have to be very accurate. They can't see totally. As Dunna Venkateshwara Rao signals towards umpire Prasanna Raj, requesting Mohammad Iqbal Jafar to wait for a couple of moments so that he can have a look at the field. Being a B2 player, has a visibility of up to 4 feet. And this time missing it, but good backup by Singrai Maji. Only a single. 115 for 2. Only a boundary in this over and 1 wide. So in comparison to the previous over, it's been a good over under the circumstances from Mohammad Jafar Iqbal. For the final time in this over to the new man in, Durga Rao. Durga Rao strikes it hard, but straight to the fielder. Pankaj Buhe, the fielder there, stopping. So 10 overs gone. Andhra Pradesh scoring at 11.6 runs per over. Are 116 for 2, and the drinks are on the field. Talking about the final and blind in India cabby under the leadership of Sri G.K. Mahantesh. The Sabantaram Trust for the Disabled started off the revolution of this form of cricket a few years ago. It's grown in leaps and bounds under his leadership, and Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy is happening, and it was, in fact, the revolution was started by G.K. Mahantesh and Nagesh, but unfortunately Nagesh expired all of a sudden. It was a shocker for Mahantesh, who lost his close friend, but did not allow the dreams to skittle, dreams to fade away, working hard with a very good professional team with Mahantesh and ensuring that this cricket is played in total professional terms. The spectators have come here in large numbers. The numbers would have been more had Karnataka come to the final. Karnataka took it a little easy yesterday, but nevertheless they have come here to enjoy a game of cricket which is electrifying. Different set of rules, a different format of the game. B1, B2, B3, the 3 types of players taking part. B1 totally blind, B2 partially blind and partially vision is there, and B3 they have a vision up to 6 to 8 feet, whereas to 4 feet B2 players will have. And thereafter you need to have 4 players at least in your team of B1, 3 of B2, 4 of B3, and also B1 will have to bowl at least 8 overs. The scorecard given by our expert scorer Mr. Ravi. T.T. Krishna run out Sukram 22 of 16 balls. It was a suicidal run out. Venkateshwar R batting on 73, looking good for 100. Lot of balls to play. Satyanarayana hit wicket Tapan for 2. And Durga Rao 4 of 4 striking at 100. He needs to increase the strike rate. 15 extras already, and in 10 overs, Andhra Pradesh sitting pretty, scoring at 11.6 runs per over, 116 for 2. Play resuming. Striking it hard. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao will only get a single as Pankaj Puhe stops that one. Takes a look around. Andhra Pradesh from now on will look to, and 8 overs will have to be bowled by B1 bowlers. The 5th over in progress as Tapan, the bowler, striking it hard, straight down the ground towards long off. Smart piece of stoppage again by Pankaj Buhe, only a single. The Odisha team won't mind conceding the singles. All they need to do at this juncture is to cut the boundaries, dry up the boundaries, apply pressure on the batsmen, frustrate them, make a mistake and take a wicket. There you can see once again Tapan's delivery, struck hard towards long off. Neat dive there by Pankaj. Durga Rao strikes hard, and this time no run. It's been a very good fielding by Kalia Pradhan, a B1 player. There you can see Kalia Pradhan. The sound of the ball bearings inside the ball will give an idea where exactly the ball is to a B1 player. And that's what he did. Anticipated to perfection, dived and stopped the ball and saving 4 runs for his team. Takes the measurement from the wicket. As Tapan now will bowl to Durga Rao. Andhra Pradesh 118 for 2. Striking it hard. Again, but will not get a boundary. As again a smart piece of fielding by Pankaj Buhe. Pankaj Buhe stopping that one, 119 for 2. As Dunna Venkateshwara Rao gets ready to take the next one from Tapan. Tapan to bowl to Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. 8 overs of B1. We are in the 5th over of B1 bowling, so 3 more overs to go after this, and strikes it hard, and all the time in the world turns around and strikes it towards the long leg boundary for 4. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao 123 for 2. 78 to him. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao by virtue of that boundary. No chance whatsoever. If they have to score 200, they need to pick up a couple of boundaries at least each over of B1. They've picked up one already with 1 ball to go. Not many wides sent down by Tapan in this over. Takes his position, measuring it from the wicket. And now as well, swept well, nicely swept, but will not be able to stop that one. So Dunna Venkateshwara Rao moves on to 82 by virtue of that boundary. Another good over for Andhra Pradesh. 127 for 2. The first 4 balls gave an indication that Odisha have come back, but Dunna Venkateshwara Rao with back-to-back boundaries of the 5th and the 6th delivery, ensuring that Andhra Pradesh retain the run rate. 127 for 2 after 11 overs. Well, Navneet, D.V. Rao, there is Dunna Venkateshwara Rao, 82 of 38. All set for a 3-figure mark.
Well, if he continues at the rate of which he's going, that 3-figure mark is going to come very, very quickly indeed. This is absolutely staggering stuff from Andhra Pradesh. They just looked the part. 127 for 2 in 11. 82 of 38 in a final. That is the kind of performance that you want, the match-winning, game-changing performances that you expect from your star players. And Dunna Venkateshwara Rao hasn't disappointed. He's been the aggressor, he's been the anchor of this innings. Add another boundary, this time to Durga Rao now. He is equally capable of scoring those boundaries. Very talented indeed, and they're taking apart the Odisha captain here, Mohammad Jafar, with the ball. A valiant effort at the boundary line, but in vain. Will that be a wide? Yes, it is. 132 in 11 overs. Where is this going to end up? They can easily get about 100 in the remaining 9. And we're talking 130 plus 100. Man, that over 230. How do you come back from that? But in the defense of Odisha, they did score 225 just yesterday against a very good Karnataka team. So they can do it. You cannot write anyone off, especially in blind cricket. And Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Will be another wide. .134 for 2. A nice little crowd in here. And for everyone tuning in to DD Productions, welcome. This is the final of the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy, as we see Andhra Pradesh slowly and steadily inch closer and closer to their second title in as many years. They are the current champions because of what they do, particularly with the bat. And at the moment, the scoreboard is a simple indication of why they are a force to reckon with. 138 for 2 and just 11.3. It's just raining boundaries at the moment. And he's hitting them to all parts of the park here. Down the ground, behind a square, on the offside, on the leg side. He can hit them straight, just the way you're seeing. He can hit them with those reverse flicks behind square. He's got all the shots in the book. And he's getting closer to the triple figure mark now. Another extra here. Good shot down the ground. They have two fielders to cut that off. Will be cut off by the deep cover fielder. And a good throw, flat throw back to the wicketkeeper. 12 overs completed, 142 for 2. My apologies, there's still a delivery left in this over. A nice flat throw back to the wicketkeeper. You don't want to be chancing his arm. Mohammad Jafar, the captain of Odisha, has one delivery left in this over. Straight on the stumps. But even that isn't good enough. Look at that. He's just quite literally toying with the fielders right now. He absolutely nailed that to perfection, bisecting long on and long off. No chance whatsoever for either of the fielders. And add 4 more to the total. That's boundary number 3 in that over. At the moment, it's Andhra Pradesh all the way.
.145 for 2 at the end of 12 overs gone. .91 of 41 balls. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao, 9 runs away from 100. Durga Rao giving him good company. And Tapan the bowler. This will be the 7th over. So 2 more overs to go for B1 before B2, B3 can come in action. 145 for 2. Struck hard by Durga Rao. A little bit of gap there and will not be able to stop that. Both the players not able to sight the ball well, and the boundary results. 149 for 1. Moves on to 16 by virtue of that boundary. A little bit of mix-up there between Singrai Maji and Pankaj Bhuwe, and the ball crossing over the boundary between them. 16 to Durga. Strikes it hard. Again. Inches before the boundary line. Stopped there by Singrai Maji. Only a single. Durga Rao moves on to 17. 17 by virtue of that single, and they have reviewed it. The umpires, in fact, have asked for the review. Both the teams will have 2 reviews, but even if it's successful, also there will be 2 reviews. .149 for 2. Only a run. 150. So 150 comes up. Durga Rao moves on to 17. 91 to Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Wide. So first time that boundary was decided thanks to Doordarshan, because the help of the replays were taken into account to finally decide that was not a boundary. But this time the umpires will not have any problems declaring it a boundary. On the previous occasion, the ball was stopped inches before the boundary line by Singrai Maji, but this time another 4. So moves on to 95 now. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao, 95 not out. Takes a look around the field. And again, the cross-section of the friendly, efficient, dedicated camera crew of Doordarshan on your screen now, just now you witnessed. Strikes it hard. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao will get a boundary for that. 99. 99 to Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. We are still in the 13th over. So think of 150 now if he gets this run. 43 balls, 99 not out. Will this be the 100th? Tying his kerchief tight, maybe signaling to the opposition that he's going to start afresh after the century. So it's not an over for Odisha. He will not throw his wicket away because he knows fully well if he stays till the end, then Odisha, however well they bat, Andhra Pradesh will always be in the driver's seat. Tapan now. 2 more balls to go in this over. 1 run required to D. Venkateshwara Rao. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Will he get his 100 with this ball? 99 of 43. Strikes it hard. The ball will cross over the boundary. 103 brings off his 100 in style. 100 to Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Playing a captain's knock. Change of strategy for Andhra Pradesh. In the toss, he said that he's going to take batting, which surprised the Odisha skipper. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao waving the bat and accepting the congratulatory clappings from his teammates in the dugout. 103 of 44. This is his 3rd 100 on this wicket itself. So in this tournament, if you remember, the matches were played in different pitches in Bengaluru. But in this edition of the Indusind Bank Nagesh Trophy, the 3rd century for him. Smart piece of wicket keeping behind the stumps by Dhanpati Gaud. Ensuring that the ball doesn't go to the boundary, gets a congratulatory pat. 163 for 2 at the end of 13 overs. Well, Navneet, 103 not out of 44. Many more to come. Will he think of a double 100?
Well, if a double 100 happens in a T20 game, I just want to say that I'm going to be here to witness it. I will be part of something really special. But the manner in which he has played is just breathtaking. Really, no words, no superlatives enough to describe the contributions of Dunna Venkateshwar Rao. The captain has led from the front, and have a look at that jubilation. The Andhra Pradesh cricket team, they believe that they're already well on their course in lifting that trophy later this afternoon. This is a really brutal annihilation of the highest order. At the moment, Odisha simply have no answers. They are absolutely dumbstruck. They're trying to throw everything they have at the Andhra Pradesh batsmen, but at the moment, they just don't seem to have an answer. It was a noisy bunch, the Odisha team, yesterday when they were doing well against Karnataka, but at the moment, there's not a single word that's being spoken in the centre. They're going through the motions. Well, what can you do when someone's striking at the way he is? Striking at over 200. Absolute madness here at the ALTIORE ground. Add 4 more. No, will be cut off. It's getting a little too excited myself. Pankaj Bhuwe, the man on your screen, the number 8 jersey for Odisha. He was simply brilliant yesterday with the bat, and they will need him to be every bit of that and even more today if they want to get over what's going to come for them. Shot, fantastic. Down the ground, straight to the fielder this time. Hopefully the runs will dry up a little bit. Maybe some sort of relief now that some of the B2 and B3 bowlers are going to be in action. But they still have an over or two of B1 bowlers. Yeah, just the 1 over left of a B1 bowler. You'll probably see that very soon as well. They want to get done with that as soon as possible. But frankly speaking, the way Venkateshwara Rao is going, I don't think it matters to him whether there's a bowler, the bowler's B1, B2 or B3. He's just hitting them all. Absolutely no respect for the bowlers at all. And well, it doesn't help when you bowl wides and the wicketkeeper misfields, conceding some byes as well. 168 for 2 in 13.3. 250 well on the cards. Absolutely on the cards. Every fielder is having to work really, really hard now. The boundary men are tested practically every ball. A rare dot ball. How's that? Up goes and given. And it looks like Durga Rao is going to use the review. This is the big final, so the two teams do have 2 reviews each. We're going to make full use of all the technology that is available to us. Right, the appeal is for caught behind, or rather the decision, umpire's decision is out, and we're looking for a caught behind over here. A good piece of wicket keeping. He took it on the second attempt. There you go. Somehow managed to get his hands around the ball. Right, we have to get another look at it to make sure we want to. There you go. 2 reviews for each of the teams, regardless of whether they turn out to be successful reviews or unsuccessful ones. 2 reviews for each team. The umpires will wait to get a better angle on that. The third umpire will just want to make sure that there is enough to declare the batsman out and agree with the on-field umpire. Third umpire taking a close look at this is Mr. D.T. Kumar. There you go. All right, it looks like the on-field umpire will have to reverse his decision there. It was quite evident from the replay that the ball did come off the leg and lob up to the wicket-keeper. So, the first time a review was being used here in the Nagesh Trophy, and it proved to be extremely important because it did overturn the decision of the on-field umpire. Regardless of whether it is a successful or an unsuccessful review, both teams will only have a maximum of 2 reviews. So, which means Andhra will only have 1 review left. And this time straight to the mid-wicket fielder, just the single on this occasion. Probably is the end of the over. No, there's still a delivery to go. Oh, apologies. This is the start of the next over. 170 for 3 in 14 overs.
Pankaj Buhe, the bowler. Wide. Wide signals the umpire. So the review going in favor of Andhra Pradesh. So there are days which the Almighty will bless you. There was no review till yesterday. And review coming into picture today and saving Andhra Pradesh. And we'll have to see how many more runs Durga Rao will score from now on. And if he hangs on till the 20th over, well, Odisha were lucky and played well against Karnataka. At the back of the mind, will probably feel, had that review not been there, they would have had the wicket of Durga Rao. But still, another B2 batsman would have come on to play, and then a B1 batsman would have come. So nevertheless, after this, there was some strong batting to come. Still, Andhra Pradesh, they have the Ajay Kumar Reddy, the B2 player, who would have come next to Durga Rao. So one cannot say whether that review actually helped Andhra Pradesh or helped Odisha, because we know what Ajay Kumar Reddy can do. He's a hard hitter and definitely would have scored more runs than Durga Rao. So it's a good decision considering the form of the players, but you never know, Durga Rao can belt the ball better than Reddy today. But nevertheless, these ifs and buts will not matter at all once the decisions are taken. And picks up a single, looking for the second run. But Venkateshwar Rao says no. 176 for 3. 2 more balls to go in the 15th over. So cricket slightly quieter after B2, B3 bowlers coming into play. Pankaj Buhe, the B3 bowler. They pick up a single. That's all they get. Pankaj signals towards the wicketkeeper not to throw and give an extra run. 177 for 3. Durga Rao having a bit of a problem with his glove. Gets it right, sets it right, and then One more ball to go in this over. 177 for 3. Pankaj Buhe, the bowler. Strikes it hard. The ball is going towards the boundary. Will it reach the boundary? No. So it's a good over by Pankaj, restricting Durga Rao to only a couple of runs. Again, smart piece of fielding by Singrai Maji. And 179 for 3 at the end of 15 overs. So 5 more overs to go, 30 balls. If you take 60 runs, the score will be 239. Navneet. And the 220 plus definitely will be a very, very big hill for the Odisha team or for any other team. 220 plus will be indeed a big score.
And we saw that yesterday. Odisha put up 225. And we knew that Karnataka had all the ammunition needed to chase that down. But then the scoreboard pressure is always going to play on you. And it did get to Karnataka. They were relatively slow. They were behind the 8 ball in the first 6 to 8 overs. And then suddenly, because of the required run rate creeping up, they just kept messing it up even further. And that is what runs on the board can do to you, especially in a big game like this and a wide signal there. So it almost looks like even if we keep the bare minimum of 10 at Nova, we're talking 230. And if they do have, well, a good outing, it may just be 250. 250 is 12.5 per over. A rare miss from the captain. We haven't seen that all day long. Pretty much everything has come out of the meat of the bat. And that knee of his is still troubling him. Happened very early on in the innings in just the second over when the ball struck his knee. But that hasn't stopped him from dominating this Tuesday morning. And quite literally making the headlines. Durga Rao quietly has gone on to quietly gone on to score 25 of 20, Durga Rao. Happy to play second fiddle, supporting act to the main man. Shot. That'll be another single. Oh, they come back for the second. There is trouble here. There is trouble here, but the throw was a little too wide. Had that throw been right next to the stumps, it would have been done and dusted for Venkateshwara Rao, but he had ample time to come back because it was a bit of an erratic throw. This is also still an over to go from a B1 bowler. Still a B1 over to be bowled. How many will come off that one? They will be targeting that for sure. Oh, awkward bounce right at the very end. But it's been that kind of a day for Andhra Pradesh, the rub of the green going their way. Well, it could have so easily gone onto the stumps, but what happens? It takes the outside edge and rolls over to the fine leg or third man region for a boundary. Very unlucky. Did take the batsman by surprise there, the bounce towards the very end. Excellent, absolutely fantastic effort there. Nakul Badnayak, good piece of fielding off his own bowling. Dot balls at this stage are worth its weight in gold, but they compensate and compensate very well indeed by getting a boundary off the very next delivery. And that is the story of the day really so far. They would sneak in the odd dot ball or a passage of play with no boundaries for about 3 to 4 deliveries, but then suddenly they would let 2 to 3 boundaries go by. And just haven't been able to stem the flow of runs or keep a check on this run rate. 192 for 2 in 16, and we still have 4 to go. 23 extras or 23 wides bowled so far in this innings. 192 for 2. There you go. Durga Rao, Venkateshwara Rao. It's pretty hot out there. They want to make sure they're hydrated, get the fluids in. They still have plenty of bowling and fielding to do later this afternoon. I'm saying 250. Shankar, 250 is what I'm calling.
Close to that, definitely, because there's another over to be bowled by a B1 bowler, and in all probability the captain of Odisha, Mohammad Jafar Iqbal, will bowl that. 192 for 6, and it's very important from the point of view of Andhra Pradesh. They get to 250 as a new over begins. Sukram Maji, the bowler. Ball hit straight to Pankaj Buhe. 193 for the loss of 2 wickets. 17th over in progress. Durga Rao getting advantage of the referral and making most of it. The ball was wide, but Durga Rao doesn't want to miss on that, and the ball will cross over the boundary. 4 runs. Nakul Badnaik, the bowler who bowled the previous over, fielder this time. There you can watch Nakul having a long chase, but the ball winning the race. 197 for 2. Struck hard again by Durga Rao, but straight to the fielder in the deep. Singrai Maji on your screen, the man who saved 3 runs for his team. 198 for the loss of 2 wickets. That's when I picked up a single. They're looking for the second. Durga Rao says no. Sensible decision there, as advancing Lal Prasad Soren had the ball in his hand, and if they had tried, it would have been a misadventure. 199 for 2. This is the final. Andhra Pradesh versus Odisha. Andhra Pradesh doing very well, and that's the 200th run for Andhra. 200 for 2 in the 17th over. 1 more ball to go in this over. So 3 more after this. So even if they score 12 runs per over, they will reach somewhere close to 240. And there is 1 more over of B1 to go. And expect a couple of wides also in that over. Ball in the air. Will this be taken? Lands in the no man's land. And for a first time since yesterday, we have seen the ball ballooning in the air to such an extent. And the body language of the Odisha fielders saying it all. Is the match over before the Odisha team starts to bat? It looks like that at the moment, at least. They definitely need a motivational talk from their coach Chandrasekhar Patnaik. In the break, there you can see the ball ballooning in the air. And the ball was in the air. The batsmen complete 1 run. They take the second one as the ball is being fielded, and before the throw comes in, seize the opportunity of the 3rd run and complete it quite comprehensively. Throw was also a little bit erratic and helping them with that extra run. Fortunately for Odisha, the ball didn't trickle over for a boundary. 203 for 2 at the end of 17. 3 more to go. Navneet. Hey,
203 for 2 in 17. 3 overs left, and it's the final over of a B1 bowler, and it's the captain Mohammad Jafar who's going to complete that quota of 8 overs by B1 bowlers. Oh, he smacks that hard and very strategically placed right behind the umpire. He's as straight as they can be. Long off fielder. Oh, no ball. No. It's just going from bad to worse for Odisha at the moment. They would have been happy that it was just a single of that delivery, and only to look at the umpire raise his right hand. No, surely not. 2 runs on the board, ball not counted, and he will have to bowl that again. (114) was Dunna Venkateshwar Rao's score at the start of this over. At the moment, Durga Rao is happy to take on the role of scoring the boundaries. So 6 runs scored in just 1 delivery already in this over. He just nailed that. And he smacks it hard once again, this time straight to the fielder. Don't miss field. No, no, no. They were going back for the second, will they? No. Sensible. Venkateshwara Rao says, hang in there, boy. I'm happy to take on the next 4 deliveries. No, is it another no ball? It is another no ball. Can you believe this? Yes, there you go. This is quite shocking. Well, nothing going Odisha's way at the moment. Eight runs have come off just 1 delivery in this over. I've just been told that the reason why that was signalled a no ball was because there were 4 fielders. The minimum quota of 4 fielders inside the 30-yard circle was not met. And that's followed by another wide. 9 runs in 1 delivery. The wheels are coming off here for Odisha. They really are. And another wide. It's hard, it's really tough going for Odisha at the moment, and the captain Mohammad Jafar is under a lot of pressure at the moment to get his over in. 10 runs in just 1 delivery in this over. 6 of them coming by virtue of extras. There you go. Will that go to the boundary as well? Yes, it will. 14 runs in the 2 balls so far. Make hay while the sun shines at the moment. The sun is shining bright and nice on the Andhra Pradesh team right now. And they're well on their way to maybe another title in as many years. They are the current champions. They're the defending champions of the Nagesh Trophy. They beat Karnataka in the final last year. And if they're going to continue at this rate, it's going to be one-way traffic today as well. And that is what they're playing for, the silverware. Wonderful looking trophies for the winners, the runners-up. And some exciting individual mementos to be given away as well. That is going to be later this afternoon. Can we see something miraculous from the bats of the Odisha batsmen? Can they upset the defending champions? If they can even come close to this, we're in for one heck of a Tuesday afternoon. I can tell you that much. But, or is it a little too much already because of what that man on your screen has done? Mohammad Jafar, the captain, can he get this over done quickly? Can he quickly finish these 4 deliveries without giving away too much? And he thumps that down the ground. No, no, no. This is a really telling on the Odisha fielders now. The bowlers, the fielders, they're all under the pressure They're under the pump. Every ball is rocketing to them. So really, have a look at that. It went straight to the fielder. It should have been 1 run. Ends up being 4. And 18 runs so far in the 3 deliveries. We haven't even seen 1-6. Make it 19. How fast is this going? That is a good piece of fielding and a flat throw back right next to the stumps. That's the kind of feeling that you want to see. But it hasn't come too often. There have been plenty of misfields. 20 runs have come off this over, the biggest over for Andhra Pradesh, and it's coming towards the very end. And they're capitalizing on these B1 overs. 2 deliveries left. What do we have? Can we see a 6? I will not put that past the Andhra Pradesh batsmen. They're capable of anything. We saw a couple of 6s in that big World Cup final at the Chinnaswamy when Prakash Jairamaya hit some mighty big hits against Pakistan in that World Cup final. So they certainly can hit them. With an angle bat, you get below the bat and you swat it as hard as you can, get the elevation that you need. These batsmen, they certainly have all the muscle needed to clear the ground. And this over is just going on and on and on. 23 now. This time the fielder cuts it off. They want to come back for the second, and that's out. Has to be out, has to be out. Finally, all it needed was a clean piece of fielding, and that's exactly what they got. And Durga Rao will have to walk back to the dugout. Not before a very handy knock. That is clean piece of wicket keeping there. On the bounce, clean collection, dislodges the stumps. And Durga Rao has certainly done his bit. He's happy. Falls just short of a half century, unfortunately. You know what? If the Odisha team were thinking of just getting some sort of a reprieve, look who they have as the next batsman walking in. It's the Indian captain, Ajay Kumar Reddy. They are relentless, these Andhra Pradesh team. They're just absolutely ruthless. This was the throw, and that's all it needed. A flat throw right next to the stumps on the bounce. Nice and easy. But it's just been a little sporadic from the fielders. They haven't been consistent. That's the big man there. He's just warming up. He's hoping he can strike a few big blows before the end of this innings. Just a little over 2 overs left. With a B2 and B3 batsmen in the center, or rather right now they have 2 B2 batsmen. The next batsman that will have to come in, will have to be a B1 batsman. So they're hoping that they can get another wicket in and squeeze in a few deliveries to a B1 batsman and restrict the scoring. But well, we're talking about 2 of the best hitters in the game for India in blind cricket. Finally, the over comes to an end. 227 for 3, 24 off that over. And we have 2 overs to go.
24 runs coming off that 18th over. They were 203 for 3 at the start of the over, now 227 for 3. So 2 overs, if these 2 batsmen can stay, definitely 250s on the card. But the quota of B1 bowlers are over, and the last 2 overs will definitely be bowled by B2 and B3. 2-7 for the loss of 3 wickets. As the new man in, Ajay Kumar Reddy, waits for the Orissa bowler. Nakul Badnaik bowling the 19th over. A single taken. 228 for 3. We'll have to wait and see how many runs will come up the last 2 overs being sent down by B2 and B3. Nakul Badnaik is a B2 bowler. As we wait for Nakul Badnaik, sets his field and will now bowl to Dunna Venkateshwara Rao. Rivers hits it, finds the gap. The ball is moving towards the boundary. Will it cross the boundary? Yes. Inches before the boundary line. Smart piece of fielding, but they pick up a couple of runs. Good fielding by Singrai Maji, saving 2 runs for the team. 230 for 3. So just 3 runs of 2 balls in this over. As Badnaik now will bowl to Venkateshwara Rao. Venkateshwara Rao sweeps it. Will he find the gap this time? We'll have to wait and see. No, he won't. Just gets a single. As a smart piece of fielding in the deep by Sukram Maji. 2-3-1 for 3. Andhra Pradesh will be eyeing for 250. It will be difficult with B2B bowlers bowling. They pick up a single. They look for the second run. We'll have to wait and see whether they take it. But sensibly decided against. Because if they have a run out now, then a B1 player will come into play and they will not be able to get the runs what they were anticipating prior to the start of this over. But so far it's been a good over by Badnaik. 232 for 3. No boundary so far. 2 more balls to go. Dunna Venkateshwara Rao on strike. Missing the line of the ball completely. Half-hearted sigh. More of enthusiasm. Not much conviction in that reaction of Badnaik on your screen. Jersey number 7 for Odisha. 232 for 3. So it's been a good over so far. Not a boundary scored. This time the ball is trickling down but will not be able to get that boundary. But they have made amends by scoring 24 runs in the previous over. And a smart piece of fielding in the deep by Pankaj Buhe. Over comes to an end. 233 for 3. Well, Navneet, 17 runs was your target. And you're on air.
I'm backing them to get the 17. I really am. I'm going to stick my tongue out and say that Andhra Pradesh are going to get that 250 mark. It will take some getting. 17 in 1 over. But I'm not putting it beyond this man on your screen. He's done wonderfully well so far. 233. How often do we see this in a game of T20 cricket? All right, Shankar, give me your score. I need a precise number. What's your number at the end? 242 is what you say. 250 is what I'm saying. 242 is, okay, fair enough. I understand why you're saying you have 242. It's because that man on your screen has the ball in hand. Sukram Maji. He's quick. He's a good bowler. Right. What do we have? We have a boundary in the very first delivery. That's a reverse sweep, and that's as convincing as they come. He's been doing this all day long. How many boundaries has he scored using the reverse flick? And every one of them have been convincing. The moustache, the long hair, a swagger that goes with everything that we get from Venkateshwara Rao, the captain of the team. He's leading from the front. 13 more runs, come on. They'll probably scamper through for the second, will they? No. Leg by signal by the umpire. Will that bring Ajay Reddy on strike? Yeah. Ajay Reddy has a runner because little injury that he incurred yesterday. Smashes it through the cover region. 4 more. 4 more. They're dancing in the dugout. The Andhra Pradesh team. They believe they have enough on the board. 242. Shankar, they're already there.
No, that's what I said. 19.3 will be 242.
Or are you predicting 3 dot balls right at the end of the innings?
I predicted only for the first 3 balls.
Look at them. They are having a ball. And why wouldn't they? This time down the ground. Just the single, just the single. No. Yeah. Right. Okay, so they got to get 2 boundaries if they have to cross 250. 2 boundaries in 2 deliveries. Bang. Just the dot ball, or rather a single there. All right. Ajay Kumar Reddy, the captain of the Indian blind cricket team. Can I back you to hit a 6 of the last ball? .246. So right in between what Shankar and I predicted, he said 242, I said 250. They end up at 246 for 3. Ladies and gentlemen, this is as comprehensive as it comes. This is brutal from Andhra Pradesh. And well, they have stamped their authority, the defending champions. They believe they have 1 foot in the door already to lifting that cup later this afternoon. And well, have a look at that. Look at those scenes. They are clapping in unison to what has been an absolute spectacle from the captain. That man, Venkateshwara Rao, has been simply superb. And when the going gets tough, the tough get going. On the big occasion of the final, Dunna Venkateshwara Rao has come up with a magical performance. And he's given Andhra Pradesh more than half a chance in lifting that trophy once again, twice in succession.
.22, DT Krishna was run out, suicidal one for 22. D. Venkateshwara Rao not out, 132 of 65, a strike rate of 200 plus. Satyanarayana did well, contributed just 2 runs though. Was there with Venkateshwara Rao when he was going great guns. Durga Rao survived a referral, was also run out for 47. And finally Ajay Kumar Reddy making his presence felt with a couple of boundaries, not out on 10 of 6. Extras 33. So 246 for 3. And this extras will definitely be the difference between the 2 teams. But you can also expect quite a lot of extras when Andhra Pradesh are bowling. But at the moment, 246 for the loss of 3 wickets. Pankaj Bhuye none for 42. Nakula Badnaik none for 40. Sukram Maji none for 43. All of them belted to the fence at regular basis. Tapan Kumar 1 for 48. But Mohammad Jafar Iqbal, the man was in a spot of bother right at the toss. None for 70. Will that be the difference? And remember the B1 bowler Tapan Kumar 40, 48 and 1. So 22 runs difference, and Tapan was able to pick up a wicket. So in all probability, Mohammad Jafar Iqbal should have planned in such a way that Tapan Kumar was bowling the 19th over, and maybe the 24 runs which came in the 18th over would not have come. 1 for 71, 2 for 105, 3 for 226, 28 white balls, 1 leg by, 2 no balls, and 2 byes 33. So Odisha have an uphill task on hand. 247 runs required to win. And the pitch is now being set for the afternoon, where the winners will be decided in approximately about 90-95 minutes of play after the lunch interval. So in 20 overs, Andhra Pradesh have scored 246 for the loss of 3 wickets. So with this information, I'm Shankar Prakash along with my fellow commentator Navneet Krishna and the host of Doordarshan crew, taking you back to the studios, but not before reminding you that we'll be back after 30 minutes for the post-lunch innings of Odisha. Till then, take care, enjoy your time. Namaskar.